Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to definitely not my workshop. We're in my father's wood workshop. We're working on a katana, and specifically, we're working on the handle of the katana. Thanks for joining me, and I hope you enjoy. So I have the first one mostly chiseled out. I've got it roughed out there, as you can see. It's awfully difficult, very, very difficult work, but we're making it happen. We're using mostly these two chisels here, one about 1/4 inch wide, one about 1/2 inch wide, which is helping me hog that out. Something I didn't do on the first one, but I'm doing now, is I just went around the edges here with the chisel and just lightly work my way down here with it supported in the vise. This way I'm really going to mitigate the tear out. The kiridashi obviously then marks it, and then I go in a little deeper here because I did have some tear out issues around here that I'm not super thrilled about. There's a bad one there. I think it's going to be okay. Taken an awfully long time, but I have both halves roughed out pretty close. I'm actually very excited about this. This is going a lot better than I thought. And again, in yesterday's video, I believe I mentioned Island Blacksmith, who got in touch and gave me some tips. He makes some beautiful Japanese knives and such. And in one of the articles that he posted, I saw him talk about offsetting the hole for the tang. It's probably difficult to tell because it's a little kind of rough around the edges there. But if you can see it, you can see that the very tip here on the side of the tang isn't split evenly down the middle. It's actually biased off to one side. Let me run you through the reasoning for this. So our tang obviously is like this. It's shaped, it's got a cross section very similar to the blade itself. And if we were to have it evenly dug out in both halves, then the very point here of the tang would be right between both halves and would be then making it very easy under stress for the handle to actually just be split open along the glued seam. So instead, the dugout is done at a slight angle, coming from halfway on the back end of the tang and then just angling back down this way, of course, so that very fine point where lots of stresses are being concentrated into one point isn't going right between the glue, but instead going into the wood. So that's a super interesting tip that I learned, and I'm very pleased about because hopefully that'll help keep this stuff together. How is the carving going? Well, it's very slow work, very slow work trying to rough it out, and this is a difficult material to carve, yeah, it's going pretty well though. Having fun. I'm enjoying doing something different. You know, while I've been doing this, I've been thinking to myself, maybe I should take on some woodwork projects in the future and try and enjoy learning just a little bit more about the craft of woodworking with some projects. I think it might be a fun idea. I might have to do that. Maybe make a chair or a table or something. I think that could be very fun. I'm very pleased. It's really been a blast tinkering away. It's quiet work. It's very different to blacksmithing. You know, it's very different to all of the rest of the processes that made this, where there are loud noises, sparks flying, you know, grinding, yada yada yada. Here it's peaceful, it's nice and quiet. You make shavings and you get to work away. It's lovely. And speaking about working away, it's time for me to glue these pieces together. Ugly duckly. As you can tell, with the magic of editing, we're back at the workshop. Somehow the lights are all on, and I have my samurai sword with me, my katana with me. Right now what we're gonna do is we are gonna make ourselves up one more seppa. This is a little copper spacer, and I've got one that's gonna go on the backside here, still needs to be shaped, but we're gonna make another one that's gonna maybe go on the front. We'll see how it looks, but it's gonna be nice to have that option if we want it. So I'm gonna take some copper, we're gonna super glue it onto a piece of steel in the milling machine, and we're gonna start milling. Pleased to say that the seppas are now installed, and this is looking rather fantastic. A little bit of tweaking before the final assembly, but they're installed. I like the patina we got on them, working on that Scotch-Brite wheel. The handle is going to be gluing, and I'll see you on tomorrow's episode as we continue working on more bits of this katana. So make sure you hit subscribe below, make sure you like, you comment, you share the video with your friends, and I will see you very soon.